To give you an idea of the amount of work that went into building this building originally 150 years ago, on this windowsill stone you can see these narrow furrows in between the ridges. Those furrows are created by a small, in those days, fire sharpened chisel being hit with a hammer. So down along a row of about 12 inches or 300 mil here, the chisel would have been hit with a hammer probably about 20 to 30 odd times, just in each row. Then you multiply that out by how many rows, you can realise that it was hard fought to create a building like this back in those days. Yeah, you can see that the ridges on the weathering course. Again, every one of these ridges is created by a hammer hitting a chisel. The chisel probably would have been about 4 inches or 100 mils wide. So you can understand that how much work went in on every stone just to get that chiseled finish. Yeah, before mechanisation, a really hard job. Also, again, in the brickwork, you can sort of understand the amount of work that went into building a cathedral of this stature back in those days. These bricks would have been made in a mould. So if you can sort of think of it like making a cake in a cake tin, putting your ingredients in, squashing it down, turning it upside down on a bed of sand to dry out in the sun before it was kiln dried. Again, in the kiln they probably just put a lot of wood around it and fired it in the open. But yeah, a lot of work. These days all this is done by machine. Back in those days each individual brick made by hand. Yeah.